So, right after posting my last video ranking the songs off of Speak Now, Taylor went ahead and announced Speak Now Taylor's version. I don't want to say my impact, but it's undeniable here. So, I am going to rank the songs off of 1989, and hopefully the next Taylor's version will be 1989, because I've been waiting for those vault tracks. 1989 is my favorite Taylor album. It was one of the biggest, if not the biggest, album of the 2010s, and it holds up to this day. Like, literally, this is one of those timeless albums that has not aged. It's been about, 9 years since it came out, and it sounds as good today as it did back in 2014. So I'm excited to rank all 16 songs off of 1989. So let's get started. The obvious number 16, Bad Blood. I wish I had more original opinions. Sometimes I just don't. Sometimes I have hot takes. Sometimes I don't align. Sometimes I'm a little tasteless. But I have to agree with everybody else here. This one is pretty much unanimously agreed as the worst song off of 1989. But here's the thing. The worst song off of 1989 is still a song off of 1989. I mean, they're all gold. This one is just a duller shade of gold. Maybe a bronze, if you will. I don't think Bad Blood is a bad song. I just think when it's surrounded by so much excellence, it's the obvious low point. I mean, the way that she tries to stretch out the chorus, like stretching out the word bad, going bad blood, like she sounds like a sheep. I'm sorry. Like when I first heard it, I thought that she sounded like a sheep. Like she's literally saying bad blood. I mean, okay, maybe she doesn't like reverberate her throat like that, but still, it just does not sound good. And then the verses, I think the verses are fine. I think the song lyrically is good. I mean, I know that it was about Katy Perry. People have their opinions on that. I like a little mess. I mean, I enjoy messiness in my songs. If it's about a feud, then I welcome it. We've gotten a lot of great pop songs from feuds, but Bad Blood, it's not among the better feud songs. It's not among the better beef tracks that are out there. It's, again, like I said, not bad. I just don't think it's a great song. When it's on 1989, you have a lot of heavyweights on this album, and Bad Blood does not stack up. So moving on, we have This Love. Alright, this one is low, I know, but like I said in my last video, this is going off of my personal favorites and what I would personally want to listen to. And I don't find myself in the mood for This Love enough to really rank it any higher than 15. I'm sorry. I think it's a gorgeous song. She sounds amazing on it, but I just think it's too slow. I mean, it's not a snooze fest. I wouldn't call it that. Again, like I said, it's a gorgeous song, but it is just one I really need to be in the mood for. I also just don't think it's depressing enough. I need a slow song to be really, really depressing. And this song, it's depressing, but I don't know. It's just not sad enough. I need it to be sadder. This Love, it's a good song. I just need a song that has either A, a bit more of a pulse, or B, to be way more depressing. That's all that I'm saying. So moving on, I have I Know Places. I Know Places, I would probably call like the most mid track off of 1989. Being a mid track on 1989, let's be real, that's a good thing. I'm not gonna say that that's a bad thing, but I think like Bad Blood is like the obvious low light, and then the songs that we're gonna get to after are like obvious highlights of Taylor's entire career, in my opinion. But I Know Places, I think this one sits perfectly in the middle. I think it is good, period. It's good. Like, I don't really have much to say about it. I enjoy the verses a lot, but I just think the chorus, it doesn't really hit. Like, I really love the verses and what she has going on, like, melodically in them. But then once it gets to the chorus, I don't know, I feel like it should hit more than it does. It's not that it doesn't hit, it's just, I feel like it should have more of a punch that just kind of isn't there for me. I never totally connected with I Know Places. I mean, I still listen to it. It's just, it's not the first one that I'm going to. So next up, I have Welcome to New York. I think Welcome to New York kind of gets unfairly criticized for being maybe like juvenile or too silly. I think it is a perfectly not that deep pop song. It's fun, it's cute, but it also sets the tone for the rest of the album, which I think was very important on 1989 specifically, because this was her first like big transition into pop. I mean, she had always been pop, let's be real, but this was a new genre of pop, more synth pop, straight up, pretty much no country influences. And this was the welcoming into that, in my opinion. I think Welcome to New York works perfectly fine as that. It serves its role in what it needs to do. I don't think it's her best song, obviously, but it's a really fun song. It's one that you could just play at a party and people will enjoy it because it's enjoyable. It's just a really good time. Nothing deeper, but it does not have to be. And speaking of nothing deeper, we have Shake It Off. Shake It Off, I remember hearing it when she first performed it. I think she debuted it at the VMAs, if I'm not mistaken. I remember watching it and just kind of being like transfixed. That's like way too deep, but I kind of was, because I really loved that performance, and it was the first time I was seeing pop Taylor. Again, like I said, she had always been pop, but this was with a new coat of paint. Like, this was shiny 80s pop fun. Lots of the instrumentation was just really lively, and Shake It Off just sounded so fresh coming from her. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, it's clearly on the lower end of her singles quality-wise, but that does not mean it's a bad song. Again, I think that it is super fun. It's super catchy. There's a reason that it's played on the radio to this day. Everybody's moms and aunts knows it. It's one of those crowd pleasers. It's a family-friendly song, but I don't think it veers too deep into like children's movie soundtrack territory. She would get into that with Lover, but on this album, I think Shake It Off works really well as her just saying, hey, you know what? I'm done with all the garbage, with all the criticism. Haters gonna hate. Is it the deepest song? Again, like I said, no. But just like Welcome to New York, it doesn't have to be. I think Shake It Off is so much fun, and I like how it's her sticking up for herself. I love a good screw you to the media, a good Britney piece of me moment, and this is kind of Taylor's take on it. It's cornier, not that that's a bad thing, it is just cornier. Shake It Off is kind of a corny song, but I really enjoy how she was sticking up for herself, and there's a charm to the corniness. Like, she is being unapologetically Taylor about it. She's not trying to pretend that she's something she's not. She's doing it her own way. She's defending her image in the way that she knows how to. So I think Shake It Off, it's a pretty empowering song. Not the deepest, again, like I said, not a deep song, but it does not have to be. It's a fun song. So moving on, I have How You Get the Girl. Speaking of really fun songs, I think How You Get the Girl is one of the most endearing songs on 1989. I think it's just so cute. Like, it is seriously just a cute little bop. It sounds like a song that would be in a teenage romance movie. I make that comparison a lot when I listen to songs, but this one, it actually does. To me, when I hear How You Get the Girl, I'm picturing the end of a teenage rom-com where the guy realizes that he messed up and he runs back to the girl's house and it's raining out and she opens the door and there he is, and the chorus comes in right at that part. Then they make up. I'm just going off way too much right now, but that's what it sounds like to me, and I love songs that are cute like that. I just think How You Get the Girl is adorable, and I know some people say, you know, it's a little bit more basic, just kind of a basic pop song, but I think if you can execute a basic pop song as perfectly as How You Get the Girl, then it elevates it. How You Get the Girl has one of the most ridiculously catchy choruses I have ever heard in a song, like at the very least in Taylor's discography. It is just so catchy, like you seriously cannot get it out of your head. And same goes for the verses. It's just a really infectious song. And I think it's one of those songs that's just a mood booster. It's a fun little pick me up song. So even though it's not among the best on 1989, it's still a wonderful song. It is literally a perfect pop song. If I had to describe to an alien species what a pop song is, I would show them How You Get the Girl. So moving on to number 10, we're in the top 10 now. We have Wonderland, the bonus track. Wonderland, I went a while actually not listening to the song. I think I discovered it a little bit after it came out. It wasn't immediately when it was released. Wonderland is so good, and I really hate myself for not knowing it right as it came out because it is fabulous. This song just has it all. It has the lyricism, it continues the story of 1989. It works perfectly as an epilogue to the album, in my opinion. And it also has amazing production. The chorus just goes off. It is just pop perfection. I mean, seriously, Wonderland is wonderful. There's nothing more I could really say about it. Wonderland is just phenomenal. So moving on, we have the other bonus track, You Are in Love. You Are in Love, I kind of like it for different reasons than Wonderland. I think You Are in Love is a bit of Wonderland's opposite, and I think they work really well together because of that. You Are in Love is a slower song, and unlike This Love, I actually really like this one because it's very pretty. It still has a pulse. It's still like catchy, and it's just really, I'm gonna use the word again, endearing. I know that she wrote it about Jack Antonoff and whoever he was dating at the time. I forget who it was. I don't know if they're still together, but I think that's really sweet that she dedicated a song to one of her friends. But You Are in Love, this song to me sounds like standing in the middle of like a giant arena and it's nighttime and it's really cold and you're just singing it and the lights come on and it's like this big epic moment. Maybe there's like some rain coming down. Like that's just what I picture You Are in Love. It sounds big, it sounds epic, and that's what I really like about it. It just doesn't sound like it's this little moment. No, you are in love. And the way that she sings it, it's just really, really pretty. I think You Are in Love is one of her most gorgeous songs. It gives me chills. Like, I literally get goosebumps whenever I listen to it, especially when she's going into the last chorus and the music goes out and you just hear her go, because you can hear it in the silence, and it literally is silent. That part is so good. It never, ever fails to give me chills. So You Are in Love, fabulous song. So up next, I have All You Had to Do Was Stay. This one, I think this one is actually pretty much tied with You Are in Love for me, but I listened to All You Had to Do Was Stay a little bit more, so that's why I gave it the edge. All You Had to Do Was Stay is an interesting track 5 because it's not like emotional like a lot of her other track 5s are. It's a lot more peppy, it's more upbeat, and I love that. I think it's cool that she did a different take on a sad song because the lyrics in All You Had to Do Was Stay are kind of sad, but when she's singing it, it's fun, you know? And I think that's what great pop music will do. It will have these lyrics that when you're reading them, it's kind of depressing, but then you hear her puts a song and it's joyous. And that kind of dichotomy is pretty much present throughout 1989. And I think All You Had to Do Was Stay pretty much exemplifies that. Again, similar to How You Get the Girl, I just think the chorus is so catchy. It is such an earworm, and I look forward to it when it comes on. This is another one I feel like a lot of Swifties like don't love, Not that it gets hate, it's more just like, it's there. It's not among the upper echelon of Taylor songs. But for me, I don't know. I've just always really, really liked this song particularly. I always just looked forward to it when it came on. It's just a fun time all the way throughout. So that's really all that I could say about it. It's just a fun song. It is a banger. So next up, I have Blank Space, iconic single, one of her greatest singles. Again, like I was saying, love a good screw you to the media. And this one, I think, does it way better than Shake It Off because there's like a real bite to this one. I remember when it came out, it was just so awesome to see Taylor really confronting all of this negative public perception that she had so head on. She had already done that with We Are Never Getting Back Together, but I think Blank Space does it so much better. I think she executes it flawlessly because she's playing into that character that the media portrayed her to be as this person who just serial dates and is, in the video that she did, like a killer, I love how she plays into that role because it's showing like, do you guys see how ridiculous this is? This is not me. You want me to be the villain? Well, here's me playing the villain. And I love that. I love a good holding a mirror up to my public perception kind of song. And Blank Space just does that perfectly. It has some of her best lyricism. It's just so sharp. Like, if I just had to describe Blank Space, it's sharp. I don't know if that really makes sense, but that's how I think about it in my mind. It just is a very biting song. So Blank Space, a masterpiece. We all know this. Next up, I have Out of the Woods. Out of the Woods, it's an interesting song to me because I didn't love it at first, but it has only grown on me since I first heard it. If you had asked me when 1989 first came out, I probably would have said Out of the Woods was maybe number 13 or something, because I don't really love the chorus. And even still, like now, I don't really totally like love the chorus. It is repetitive. Not that it's horrible or anything, I just think it's not among the better choruses on the album. But what elevates the song is the songwriting. Again, Taylor is a master songwriter. There's just so many specific little details that she puts in that really elevate the song to be way more than it sounds like, if that makes sense. We moved the furniture so we could dance, baby, like we stood a chance. Like, lines like that, I just think make the song so elevated. She makes a history of this relationship that really feels alive. And I think it comes across so perfectly in Out of the Woods. And also, I don't even need to mention it, but Bridge City. She takes us to Bridge City. This is the best bridge on the album. Possibly her best bridge, period. Off the top of my head, I could not think of another one that I would say is better than Out of the Woods' bridge in Taylor's discography. I think that this is her best bridge. It's one of those bridges that makes me possessed by a demon. Something takes over me. Something takes over my body when I listen to it. And that is what a great bridge does. So moving on, top 5 now. Wildest Dreams. Wildest Dreams is the most gorgeous song on this album. It just sounds so magical. Like, that's what I get from it. It's magic. It's also so classy and elegant sounding. It sounds like old Hollywood. And I know that's what she was going for in the video, but I thought that that was perfect because before I saw the video, before the video premiered, when I was listening to Wildest Dreams, I literally thought this is an old Hollywood glam moment. I want to see her in a fancy blonde wig, a really nice, pretty dress, black and white, blown out lighting right on her face to make her look ethereal like they used to do in older Hollywood movies. That is what I got from Wildest Dreams, because that's just what it sounds like. Like I said, it's classy. It is a fine wine. It is a Cabernet Like, it just goes down so smooth. That is what I hear when I listen to Wildest Dreams. It is one of the best love songs ever written, in my opinion, and I like say that with my whole chest. It is one of the greatest romances of the 21st century, and I love the little heartbeat interpolation that she does. I think that's brilliant. I think that's such a cool idea. I don't know if that's ever been done in like other songs before. I'm sure it has, but I think it just works so effectively in Wildest Dreams. So yeah, Wildest Dreams, another masterpiece. So next up, I have New Romantics. New Romantics is the most 80s throwback song on this album, in my opinion. I think it literally sounds like a song that could have been released in the 80s. And I think like 80s nostalgia is like so overdone, but if it's done well, like it is in New Romantics, then I don't mind. This song is, again, infectious. You can't get the chorus out of your head. The lyrics really paint a cool visual. I could build a castle out of all the bricks they threw at me. And I also love the line, switch sides like a record changer. I just like little cute turns of phrases like that. So New Romantics, I just think on all fronts is excellent. It's a check plus on every single front. Like the lyrics, the production, her vocals, it is all well above average. New Romantics is one of the best pop songs to be released as a single in the 2010s. And even though it was big, I feel like it should have been bigger. I say that about everything, but New Romantics, it should have been an even bigger hit, in my opinion. So moving on, we have Clean. Clean is the go-to sad song on 1989. If I'm listening to it, I am listening to cry, and it is one of Taylor's best songs for that purpose. So devastating, but so well done. I mean, I love the visual of the rain literally washing away her memory of this previous relationship. That is just a really great analogy to make, or metaphor, or whatever the word is. I just love that. I think she does it brilliantly. And I love a song that's contemplative and is looking back on what happened. And it's not coming from a place of the raw emotion. It's her just looking back at what happened and reflecting on that. I think that that's a really cool point of view to have in the song, because we have songs where she's angry, she's sad, she's this, she's that. And I guess she is sad in this song, but it's more so just her reflecting on what happened. And I think that that's always a really interesting take to go with in a song. So Clean, just a great depressing bop. Love a depressing bop. So moving on, I have Style. Style is Taylor Swift's best single, in my opinion. I just think it is timeless. Absolutely a timeless song. She gives her best vocal performance in any of her singles. The little voice crack when she says, "You've been out and about with some other girl." That one moment seriously adds so much to the song, in my opinion. It is so sad, and it makes the song so dark, because the song is already pretty dark as it is, just lyrically. Because what is she saying? She's saying, we never go out of style. You got that James Dean daydream look in your eyes. It's her just saying, we look good together, frankly. The general public thinks that we look like a good couple, and we're never gonna go out of style. And that's a really sad thing to think about, because it's basically boiling down her relationship to just being this superficial, we look good. It's a really unique perspective, and I don't think Style gets the credit that it deserves for having such a unique perspective and a different outlook on the typical relationship gone bad song. Now, granted, I think maybe it doesn't get the credit for its lyrics because everyone is too distracted by how amazing the production is. It is just pop excellence. There's no other way to describe it. It is literally the perfect pop song. I can't even really explain why, it just is. It's one of those things that simply is. We just have to accept it. Style is the perfect pop song. So what can top that? Well, my number one, I don't think is anybody else's number one. I Wish You Would. Now, hear me out. This is my favorite. This isn't what I think is the best song. I don't think I Wish You Would is the best song on 1989 objectively. It is my favorite song. I Wish You Would, it has everything that I want in a song. It has a build-up. It starts off kind of more subdued, and then it gets to that first chorus, and it just smacks you in the face and launches you across the room. And then when you still have whiplash from getting smacked, it's onto the next verse, and then you're getting up, and then it hits you again, and suddenly you are knocked out of the window because you're at the chorus again, and the chorus is so big and bombastic. Oh, when I hear it, I just hear like Broadway lights. That is what I picture for this song. It's Broadway. It's her name in lights. She's performing. There's a million dancers around here, and she's looking right up at the audience, and she sees the person that she's singing to, and that's when she says, "I wish you would come back." It's such a moment. It's drama. It's everything that I need. It is so perfectly my kind of song, so that is why it's my favorite. Again, I don't think it is necessarily the best song, but I think it's way better than people give it credit for. I think I Wish You Would is so slept on. Like, how can it not get its flowers that it deserves? It makes me physically ill to think about how underrated it is. I lie awake at night haunted by the fact that there are people out there that may have never heard this song. That is the greatest modern tragedy, because the song is auditory gold. It just delivers exactly what you need in a song. Like I said about some of the other songs, it's just a mood booster. It makes me come alive. I could be so miserable, and then I just put on this song and I get so happy. It's like an adrenaline shot. Like, it really does feel like I just stuck a needle in my vein and injected this song into it, and I just suddenly came alive. That is what the song does to me. That is how it makes me feel. It makes me feel alive, and that is why I Wish You Would. It has a special place in my heart. It is my favorite Taylor song, period. Again, I don't think anybody else's favorite Taylor song is I Wish You Would, but sometimes I have weird taste, so that is just what I think. And that is the end of my 1989 ranking. It is her best album, in my opinion. Absolutely love it. Timeless. One of the greatest, most essential listens for pop fans. So I had a lot of fun doing this. It took me a while to think about my rankings, but they fell out a little bit more easily than I thought they would. So I am going to go listen to I Wish You Would and manifest that the next Taylor's version that she announces is 1989.